This is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to the New Year's edition of Getting to Know a Junkie. Today we have a special guest. You know him as the Cardfather. He's from Toronto in Canada, and his name is Jacob. Jacob, how are you?
Yo, bro, I'm not from Toronto, though.
Where are you from?
From Hamilton, which is just Toronto.
Okay, you know what? It's funny you say that because for Dennis, like the other day, he's like, no, he didn't put up South Elgin. I'm like, well, I put up Chicago. It's close enough. How far are you from downtown Toronto?
Downtown, well, it depends. Like if Johnny Poda is driving, it's like 20 minutes.
Okay.
If he's driving, it's like 45 minutes.
Okay, so that's what it was when I was growing up to get to Chicago. So I said Chicago. Okay, he's not from Toronto, people.
Yeah, but like if you're from Hamilton, though, it's like a beef. Like you don't want to say you're from.
Oh, really? Okay. I got Canada, right, and that's at least 1 out of 2. Really quick before I forget, were you a hockey player growing up? Does every kid get put on skates in Canada?
I know how to skate. Yeah, definitely, I know how to skate. But I didn't play like organized hockey. I'd play. I don't know if anybody in America would know this. A word called shinny.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the word shinny or no?
Like SHITTY?
No, shinny.
No, I don't know what that is.
Like your shin on your knee, like your shin on your leg.
Sure. Okay.
It's so shinny is like organized pickup hockey. It's not like you don't like like if you go to your local thing to play sports, you got to pay whatever. I guess.
Yeah.
This is just like say like we have a lot of outdoor skating rinks here in the wintertime.
So it's just like a pickup game.
Yeah, so like you just call the boys and like, yo, let's go play shinny, and you go play shinny, right? A lot of dangles and stuff happen there. Usually, like if you're playing shinny though, like proper shinny rules, there's no goalies. It's just like a little like whatever, you use whatever, but for like little nets. So like maybe like 2 bottles, like this far apart kind of thing. And
really?
And that's that. You don't use real goalies in shinny.
What's the typical score of a game?
Oh, it depends. Like you just like, man, sometimes you'll be out there like, especially not so much where I'm in, because in Hamilton it's you don't get too cold, but like a lot of our rinks here are like made like summer baseball diamonds get made into ice rink in the winter, usually around like
okay.
Down here. But if you're like up north, you can go like out on the lake and play, right? If you're out north and you're on the lake or you're on the pond or something playing up there, like you just play for hours. Like you just play, like you call up in the morning, you just clear up the ice and then you play.
Wow. So I heard that you're not from Toronto recently, but do you still support Toronto? Like when the Raptors won a couple years ago, do you support them?
Yeah. So Hamilton doesn't have any, like, obviously we don't have any big league sports teams.
Do they have a CFL team?
Yeah. That's all we have. So for me, it's Toronto, everything besides for the CFL, which is of course Hamilton. However, the CFL team and the Toronto CFL team are like that's their rivals. So like that's like blood and guts.
So technically you're stealing from Toronto. What have you given back to the city itself?
Wait, what did we steal from Toronto?
Well, you don't live in Toronto, you live in another part of Canada, but you've co-opted their championships. I'm sure the Blue Jays back to back, just the Raptors.
So whatever. Hamilton give to Toronto, we give
no.
them,
What did you?
Me personally.
Yeah.
Me personally. So I gave them a lot of tourist money. I give them a lot of tourist money. So when someone like me comes from out of town to watch these championship games, I'm giving them money to go to their restaurants, their alcohol, their tickets.
Okay. You're right. That's right. You don't have to do that.
I could just go there. I could just watch it on my TV and say, like, I don't want to support Toronto in monetary terms. What else have I given
it's
Toronto?
a choice.
Toronto's giving me a lot of fun nights. I was going to say I gave Toronto a lot
of fun nights.
Imagine.
Were you excited when they got an NBA team? Was that a big deal?
Well, like, not for me really, just because I'm young, right? So when it happened, I was really like a kid. So when I was like growing up, they were just always there, kind of thing. Like I was 3 years old, I think, when they're. No, wait. Maybe
Jesus!
I was a little bit older. I was a little bit older than that. I think they came in like 95.
95, yeah.
So I would have been like how old was I? 95, like 6 years old or something.
Yeah, I was 19. I was a 19-year-old kid then.
Well, they used to play the Sky Dome, and then the Sky Dome was way too big, so then they built the Air Canada Center, and that's where they play now.
Is the Sky Dome still there?
Sorry, it's called Scotiabank Arena now. So yeah, Sky Dome's still there. Sky Dome's called the Rogers Center. And
Okay.
yes, this month, actually, earlier in the month, they announced that the owners of the Blue Jays, which are just awful owners, they're going to
Okay.
tear down. They're going to tear it down and build a new one on the same lot. So we'll see what happens with that. And nothing's
Really?
happened. Like nothing's like no what's it called, bulldozers are in the dirt yet. But
Is that hotel still there? Was it like in right field maybe?
yeah, Renaissance Hotel.
Yeah, that you
Yeah,
could like were there rooms you could look out onto
yeah,
the
yeah. So
field?
there's actually, yeah, I got a quick story. So yeah, the
Go ahead.
Renaissance Hotel is inside the Rogers Center in the outfield, and you could watch the games from inside. Like if you're there overnight, you can watch them like change the field over to like say there's another event going on or something like that. So
Mm.
the one night, it was Raw and SmackDown were in Toronto, and but the Blue Jays were in town against the Yankees. And so the Air Canada Center, where Raw and SmackDown is just down the street from the Rogers Center, right? So
Oh,
we
okay.
we stayed at there randomly. We're just like, let's get a spot there at the Renaissance Hotel. So we,
Mhm.
we stayed there, and we were like just drinking, watching the Blue Jays game from the hotel. It's awful seats because like, you're so far away, but like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just watching it. It's kind of cool experience. But then we ran down to Raw on the way back. We seen what's his name? Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick was with like a whole bunch of like a couple like indie stars at the
Uh-huh.
time. Like this was back in the day. So he was with Josh Alexander, but Josh Alexander wasn't like Impact star yet. He was just local indie talent, you know.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but yeah, they were outside the Renaissance Hotel when we came back from Raw, and then they were just drinking and shit outside the hotel. So then they were like, "Yo, what are you guys doing?" And we started talking to them, and then we just started like partying with them for the night.
Oh,
We
that's
had a couple beers in
hilarious.
the lobby, like the bar lobby of the hotel, and
Uh-huh.
then. But it was just like random. It was Brian Kendrick just chilling outside the hotel at the Rogers Center.
Yeah. Like that's usually like, at the end of the night you're drunk, you have a cigarette before you go in type thing.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
both of
so
them were like.
how old were you at the time?
This was like probably going back like 5-6 years. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. And this I'm gonna pause and edit this following question out. I'm just making sure the recording, like the red camera's going.
Yeah. It says in
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay,
So it kind of
back
freaked me
on.
out because it's live too. I was like, shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I guess I click end broadcast at the end. Okay. So getting back things, I'll edit that part out. So as a kid, did your family introduce you to wrestling, or is that something like you discovered like yourself or with your friends or siblings?
Actually, I would say I don't talk to him anymore, but I would say my dad like showed me
Okay.
wrestling. Like my first memories of wrestling would be like waking up, like not even at the 9 o'clock. Like I'd be in bed by 9 o'clock, right? So up here in
Uh-huh.
Raw would play at 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on
Uh-huh.
back then. I think it was TSN back then. We went to Spike TV and stuff, but it was on TSN. So I don't remember like the 9 o'clock time. I remember like waking up, like getting woken up at like the midnight time, the replay time. So I think,
Oh, really?
and I think like I don't know. I think it had to do with my mom not wanting me to watch it because I was a little kid. But my
Wait,
dad,
did you set an alarm to get up, or did
no,
your
no, no.
dad?
Like my dad would wake me up to watch it.
Oh,
I,
that is
I don't know
hilarious.
like why he did that. Like I think maybe he just wanted some like a time with his son or something. So that,
Oh,
like,
that,
he
yeah, at
worked a
midnight.
lot,
I was convenient for him.
again, I haven't seen him like in like ever. He's a piece of shit, but like
Okay,
uh,
okay.
but like I guess then he worked a lot too, right? So he never like during the day I'm in school, evenings he worked, so he'd come home and maybe just want to spend some time. So that was our thing. He would wake me up and watch wrestling. But like again, I think it was kind of too. My mom didn't really want me watching like wrestling when I was like that young and stuff.
Yeah, how old were you when he'd do that?
Fuck, I don't know. I was like grade like oh shit, I shouldn't
Like
have said
single
that.
digits? I
So
don't
you
care.
got to edit that out.
Yeah. I'll
I was
bleep
like
it.
maybe like yeah, probably. Well, it was before grade 3, so yeah, single digits for sure.
Oh my God, Jesus. And then did you like continue enjoying it like through your like teenage years?
So I remember when we first like so I just said grade 3. That's when my parents got divorced. I remember like
Mhm.
I don't know. I remember like not. I guess I don't remember this vividly or anything like that. But I remember like one day at my new house, stumbling upon it on television. It was
Mhm.
The Rock chasing Mankind in like a backstage segment.
Yeah.
It was just like a random Raw or something, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, listen. So then, yeah, and then that's when you could start like checking like the internet for like the schedules of when stuff was coming out and stuff. So then I would go on there,
Yeah.
and get like the DVD schedule and like the TV schedule, and like that's when I started getting into it a lot more.
Okay, this is a problem I had. Like I would buy every, DVD that would come out, because like they didn't have obviously like the network and any of that kind of thing. But now I have like 300 or 400 DVDs that that are just like taking. I don't even have a DVD player. I don't think in my house.
I got rid of all my. I don't have any DVDs. I don't think. I think I still like. Oh, you guys are gonna laugh. I got a couple like old like Jericho things, but like.
Yeah. Breaking the code.
Besides that, I don't have much DVDs. And like people like still sell them though. Like High
Spots. Yeah, totally.
Man, High Spots makes a living selling DVDs, and I always chirp at them because I'm like, who buys DVDs anymore, right? But people buy them, so.
Yeah, I had asked like one of these like where they buy back like books and DVDs and stuff, and I said, listen, I have so many, but I don't have the boxes. I kept them in like sleeves, and they wouldn't take them either. So they're just collecting dust. All right, let's skip ahead. It's May of 2020. You're sitting somewhere. When does Pro Wrestling Junkies enter Jacob's head?
I would say like March or May.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just looking at something. Yeah, March, April, May, around that time. But it wasn't like the first concept wasn't Pro Wrestling Junkies. It was like I wanted to start a podcast and do like wrestling trivia on it. So I needed a place to like organize everything, right? Organize the structure or the bracket and stuff like that. So I just made a Facebook group, and then I put out some fillers on like the Pro Wrestling Tees VIP group and a couple other just wrestling groups I was in. And, that was like the first, I guess, like incarnation of it, I would say.
Okay.
From there, I kind of soured out on the podcast idea. For me, I don't know what the heck I'm doing with recording a podcast. So I was just like, shit, I wanted to do this, but then I didn't want to.
Did you have equipment already, recording equipment?
Yeah, I had like not this microphone, though. I had a different microphone, and then I had a couple like obviously the setup lights and stuff like that.
Okay.
I wanted to do like just like a wrestling news and trivia, like kind of like interactive games, stuff like that. But like I said, I don't know, I kind of soured out on it, and at the same time. I noticed Spencer. He was like posting a lot of news in the what's it called, in the group. So like even
the pro wrestling tees.
Well, no. In the at that time it was just called like Trivia Podcast Group.
Okay, all right.
You're original, but but like a lot of people were just like, even though it was like an organization area for everybody for the trivia, a lot of people were like just using it to talk and stuff like that, and chat and whatever. So.
Sure.
And at the same time, I still wanted the podcast to be a little bit of a news stuff too, right? So, and I noticed Spencer was posting a lot of news stuff, and I'm like, hey, like, you want to like do that like as a thing, like not just do it on your own, just like actually post it. And then he said, yeah, and then I told him, I'm like, there should be like more like positivity in like on the online wrestling community, because like there's a lot of trolls and like
so many. And
I'll even admit like a lot of people that are probably going to watch this are like, I'm being a hypocrite, saying there's a lot of trolls. I am a troll in certain aspects of the online auction community, but like nothing I say is hurtful or like disrespectful in any way. So, but
can I make an admission?
Yeah.
This is the first time anyone besides my wife and my brother know this. So where I used to work, I'd have like 2 screens, and it wasn't really busy, 2 computer screens. And I used to like log into ESPN chats, online. And like, I saved them all because I used to, accuse the guests of like being sexist or racist. I'd call them like by the wrong name. And I would say horrible stuff, and once in a while they would respond. Okay, enough about me. Anyways, back to Pro Wrestling Junkies. Wait, so where we left off, you said you and Spencer were dating. Go on.
Dating? Jeez Louise.
Oh, no, never mind. That may have been when I talked to Spencer a couple days ago. Go on, I apologize.
I'm telling you that we're in a romantic relationship, man. Nothing wrong with that, but he's kind of far. I'm not into the long distance stuff.
No, I know. It's hard to maintain those. Okay, so you've met Spencer. He's now posting things.
Yeah, and then from there, it just kind of, I was like, I don't even know how that conversation came about with the positivity thing. Maybe I was mad that day I got trolled or something. So then stuff, and then and I was like, yo, we should like, and at that time, people were starting to join the group, like not even for the trivia, like it was just like friends of friends now joining it. And it was just, we were around like 200 or like 300 people. I was like, I said maybe we should just turn this into like screw the podcast trivia, like let's just turn this into a community for people to talk, and maybe hopefully we can like do like a positive spin on it and start something new.
Sure.
So yeah, then it just from there we brought a couple other people on. At the early beginnings, it was really just like a community, and we did a little bit of trivia started. We still did trivia, but it wasn't like recorded for a podcast. It was inside the group as just like something to do fun for within the group. And
Sure.
then besides for that, we didn't do any like meet and greets or card breaks or nothing like that. But we had a lot of content, like daily posts of like the contest, history, day in history, that kind of
The
stuff.
merch.
Merch, like what the F merch. And then like from there, like it just kept like adding layers. Like you came on very early in the beginning with some of your ideas like this and toilet side, and then even then, like you came on, that was your first couple things, but then you've added on layers too now. Like with, added what's the last one you just added? Getting to know a junkie, which what we're doing right now. Like
show and tell.
These were like later things that you added on to what you're doing, right? So and then from there, like that's just with you, and then from a group aspect, we did a lot of the meet and greets really started to kick off. Card breaks in general, like I'm a big card guy, like not even just wrestling cards, just like in sports cards. But like the wrestling sports card communities kind of left like as a redheaded stepchild because of the values aren't there right now as if they are like some of these basketball and baseball cards are going for like millions of dollars, right? So
it's insane.
Wrestling cards aren't really there yet. So like I felt like, hey, like maybe if there's still a big card community, then we'll just have some fun breaks too.
Start
and then breaks have turned into like sometimes we'll do memorabilia rumbles or raffles and stuff like that kind of stuff, right? So and a lot of that stuff helps pay for like the meet and greet guests, anything extra that comes with the card break stuff. For real, the card break stuff is usually like breaking pretty even on it. And I just enjoy like there's nothing funner than ripping up cards and like getting some sick stuff, right? But
it's great. They're so much fun.
Yeah, the raffles. We try to make a profit on the raffles, obviously, and then that profit gets put back into hopefully meet and greet guests and other endeavors that are future and coming up, right? So.
Do you like ever think to yourself like? Did you think like in May that by like the end of the year you'd be like booking Kenny Omega? Do you know what I mean? Like it went from just not really, maybe some trivia to like you negotiating Kenny Omega come to this, group?
No, man. Literally, I didn't know about Ken. Like, so there were obviously like a lot of the admins and like Spencer, a couple other my close friends. They're in the loop on everything. A couple of my close friends are some of the vendors too, right? So maybe they're not in the loop of exactly what's happening, but they're in the loop of who's coming in, just because like we do make some of the money back on private signings on the back end. So a lot of vendors I'll call up and say, hey, do you want this many spots and so whatever. So they know too, but like anybody who knows the Kenny deal was like a month of just back and forth. I don't know, I can tell the whole story, but it kind of came, it's kind of I don't know, it kind of lucked out as well.
Okay.
So obviously everybody knows we were supposed to have Brody Lee back in November. For stuff I can't get into. Last minute. So I had to make some calls to get in touch with Brody Lee's agent. I think I can probably say his name. I won't say his whole name, but his name is Jordan. And so Jordan represents a lot of talent alongside Barry Bloom, which is a well-known wrestling agent, well-known sports agent actually in all of sports. So they work alongside each other, and Jordan represents people such as Miro, Brody Lee, Bray Wyatt, Ember Moon, Drew Gulak, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, list goes on and on. So because of the Brody Lee situation, that got me in contact with Jordan. Jordan was kind enough to get us Miro on a last minute thing there within 24 hours. Stuff that happened there. So Miro ended up joining us. And from there, one thing just led to another, snowballed into another thing. I kind of just threw an email out of Jordan's way with like, hey man, like what about Kenny? And I said what about Jericho as well. But yeah, he the first email back was a no, they're not interested in doing that kind of thing. My email response to that was, how much for this much? I won't say. So yeah, he said, and then his email to that was, I'll call you tomorrow. And we'll talk.
Totally. God.
Yeah, and then from there it was, a lot of back and forth on the actual number, and then maybe working in items to get signed, and then which items could be allowed to sign, which items would not be allowed to sign, stuff like that.
Was there ever a point where you're like, oh no, this is falling through or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. There's a few points. One was him winning the title, because when he won the title, even though like obviously his agent probably knows that's coming, on my end, I'm like this number just went from here to here.
Yeah.
There was a point where I don't want to get too much into the actual details.
Sure. No.
Of some items. Obviously, you guys can get into like the copyright stuff. Obviously, so like there was some items that were originally allowed to be signed and then weren't allowed to be signed. Or like,
okay.
I shouldn't say originally allowed to be signed because nothing was in like it was still like in talks. You know what I mean? So obviously, there's a big market for AEW Kenny Omega items. So that's off the table. That's a big market out, right? So when that was kind of pulled, it was a big. I don't know if this makes sense now. And there was a play to do it exclusively, our first exclusive to Twitch.
Okay.
However, our whole Twitch stuff will be coming out probably around like February or March. We'll be getting to a Twitch game with that stuff.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll be plugged into some stuff there. So I can't say anything yet. We'll see what comes of it. And but yeah, so the initial thing was like I was going to use Kenny as the Twitch play to get our Twitch audience.
Yeah.
We're going to use him as like a big branding play and just try to cast out the net as far as we can and get everybody out the names on. And just from a business aspect, it also helps when you're shooting out emails to book talents. They see, hey, we worked with da 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 da. Obviously, Kenny Omega is not someone who is looking for a paycheck. He picks and chooses
no
who he wants to do it with, and he's built that up for himself. So kudos to him. Time this airs, we've already talked to.
Yes. I've been like when I've been like contacting wrestlers to interview and stuff. I've been saying we've had Miro, Kurt Angle, so we're getting a lot of traffic, and we've Kenny Omega coming up, and that's that's a big hook in getting guests. Okay, one last question about Pro Wrestling Junkies. What's the thing that stresses you the most about it?
I don't know, actually. What stresses me the most? Like, booking talent is stressful.
Yeah, I imagine.
I would say, not even just booking talent, I would say, like, I don't want to make anybody mad at it. I would say the business, like, okay, so I started Pro Wrestling Junkies as, like, a passion thing. Like, I love wrestling. I know there's a lot of people who love wrestling, so, like, I want to talk to other wrestling fans about wrestling.
Sure.
That's what it all started as, and now it's kind of come like I don't want to say a job, like I don't make much money from Pro Wrestling Junkies. It's still a passion thing, but like it's slowly starting to become a job now, which is good.
Like you have stuff to do.
Like I would love to eventually like quit working. Like I do digital marketing, so I and do a lot of stuff for other companies. But I've already dropped. I had 6 companies that like when I first started. I'm down to 4 now, so I dropped 2 companies. Getting more time with PWJ and what we're doing over here, and slowly as PWJ grows from just like a Facebook community into more of a brand business, hopefully I'll be able to drop more companies and just do more PWJ. But for now, I would say like the stressful part would be like not even just booking the talent, but more just like the business side, because like the business side of wrestling is a salty business, I'm finding.
Yeah. God.
Not everybody, like it's just I don't know. It's a weird business.
So, all right, I'm going to dip away from wrestling for a moment. Do you have any New Year's Eve plans? Do you usually in a year that there's not a pandemic, do you usually go out like to a party or bars or anything on New Year's Eve?
I don't have any like set traditions, but like it's just like whatever is going on that year with the friends or whatever.
And then this year, will you be drinking alone?
No. This year I'll be. I don't know actually what I'm going to do this year yet. I think right now, so this will be on. I think this is coming out January 1st.
Yes.
So I think last night I would have been with my nephews. Maybe I think my mom is going over there to watch my nephews as my sister goes out. So I think I'll head over there and hang out with the nephews this year.
Is there any chance that a week from on January 1st, you'll be vomiting from December 31st? Does that ever happen? No. Have you ever had vomiting the morning after New Year's?
I don't vomit any mornings.
Oh, that's awesome. Even younger,
I'm not a huge drinker, so even when I was younger, I didn't drink too much. I'll drink like if I'm out at a game or I'm at a concert, I'll have a couple of drinks, but I'm not like I always know where I am and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There's other things I'd rather do than that I can actually operate a vehicle. Jacob,
You got to
you have a story about your past. Can you share a little bit about this? I know you don't talk about it a lot.
That's a pretty blunt question, man. I don't know. So like obviously,
It's supposed to be hard hitting.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people know that I went to jail before, and then
Okay.
It doesn't really relate to wrestling, I guess. I did get to watch
Okay.
wrestling, which was weird, right? But
How long were you there for?
a while. It was
years or months?
Years, like 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. It was for like a fraud scheme.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I won't get too
So
much.
you didn't kill anybody?
No, I didn't murder anybody. I didn't rape anybody.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the big ones.
I didn't sell drugs like fentanyl.
Nothing with little kids.
No. I'm not.
Right.
Well, I was gonna say something right there that would have got us banned for sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say something about someone else.
No.
Nothing like that. But
so how old were you?
This was like going back. Well, it was off and on. Like it was off and on, but like it was for the same. Like it wasn't like I didn't get out and then redo it again. It was like it all happened at one time, but it was dealt with at different times. So yeah, it was 3 years, but I was young. Like this is going back, but like now I'm not obviously doing it right. But I do know that like a lot of people like in I don't want to say particularly everybody in our community pretty much knows, but like I know there's a lot of other communities that we're like talking with and doing business with that maybe don't know or have found out through other means, right? So they found out through, a lot of it is on Google. I know all you guys are gonna go. Whoever watches may go run to Google, which is fine because a lot of you guys already know. So, but some.
Oh, you're on Google. Like I could Google this and find something.
Yeah, definitely. It was in the news and stuff.
Can I? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I? How long were you in jail while the trial was going on? In prison?
It wasn't
incarcerated.
Yeah. So up here is like a little bit different. Like
okay.
You can get bail and stuff, right? So. But like the whole time that I was in though would have been like accumulation of like almost just over 3 years.
Okay.
With like a couple like 1 month split in between while I was dealing with them at different times, right?
Okay.
But it all stemmed from the same like incidents in the same time. But yeah, when you go there, bro, like it's a weird place. Obviously, that's how I have the outlook I have now, I guess. Because like I've been to the worst place that society receives to be the worst place. But like I like using this platform to tell people because I said other people find out other ways, so I'd rather me tell them than other people tell them.
Yeah, and be honest with it.
There's a nice gentleman named Nicholas Raymond, so shout out Nicholas Raymond. He likes to tell people all the time, which is fine, But Nicholas Raymond's a cool guy, he likes to do that. So, which is people like that though, like if they expect me to move on from stuff, they, like other people got to move on too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't want to move on, then like I'll just like. My car's going now, so like I'll just leave it behind. So,
can I ask you some questions about being there?
Yeah, dude, go ahead, ask me now.
Did you make any friends? Meaning, like because I'm sure your days were very long. Like,
while you're there, you have to make friends. While you're like there,
did that take a while?
No, like it depends. So like I don't know how to explain it, but like. When you're there, you need to. You can't be alone, or you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
But like, so put it this way, like the first day there, you're sleeping in a room with a stranger. You don't know that person. You know what I mean? Like, you get put in a cell or whatever with a stranger. Like you don't like, unless maybe you might like if you're the. I'm not as they would say in jail. I'm not a jail guy. Like I'm not like. There's people that like that's their life. They're in and out, in and out.
Yeah. And
that's all they know, right? So like when those guys come in, they pretty much know everybody who's there already, right? They're like, oh, hey, it's just like another like day at the park for them.
Yeah.
But like if you're somebody who's never been to jail before and then you go to jail, you're not like most likely unless like you grew up with some friends or whatever that do that stuff, you're getting put into a place with like in a room with a stranger and you gotta eat with that person, you gotta sleep with that person, you gotta.
Were you scared going in?
I wouldn't say like necessarily scared, but like you're definitely like nervous because you don't know just the unknown, right? You don't know what to expect. You don't know like the only like a lot of people have the connotation of like TV, like jail television, and it's nothing like zero like 0, 0, 0, 0. Like if I had like negative zero like ways.
So like you were never worried that you were gonna get like shanked or something. Like
Me necessarily no, but like I've seen it. But like
you've
it's
seen
like
it. Okay.
like one thing though, like on TV, like the rape stuff, like that stuff doesn't happen
That
there. But
doesn't
like
happen in the
no,
showers.
no, no, no one's getting like raped in jail. But like but
How's the
like yeah, like
food?
shankings and stuff. It depends where you are. So like
Okay.
jails have different ways of making their food.
Okay.
Obviously, up here in Canada, it's probably a little bit different than down in the States. But
Hmm.
if I had to describe it, I would just describe it as like cafeteria food, pretty much.
So
Like
like it wasn't like disgusting.
no, I mean it's not like again, it's not terrible, but like it's not like obviously I don't want to be eating it every day. But yeah, it's a lot of cafeteria food. However, you can get maybe a lot of people don't know this unless you maybe have a loved one that's been there or whatever.
Hmm.
You can get a thing called up here we call it canteen. Down there, I believe it's called commissary.
Yes.
So yeah, you can order like up here again, probably a lot different, but you can order like pop, chips, chocolate bars, Mr.
Oh,
Noodles,
and
magazines.
keep them in your like in your
Yeah, you're only allowed to order so
cell.
much a week, but
Okay.
yeah, you order like that's what you do. You just buy it off there, and then like say if like the meals, say dinner's bad that night or something that you don't
Hmm.
personally like, you can just cook up some Mr. Noodles or something like that. A lot of people like use a lot of the ingredients that you can get off of a canteen or commissary and like make
Uh-huh.
other creations. So like
Yeah.
make cheesecake. You can make these things called burritos. You can make like there's a lot of weird jailhouse foods that they call it that people make in there.
While you were there, was there ever a point that you felt comfortable?
Oh, no, you never feel comfortable in jail.
Okay.
Obviously, you get like used to it.
Uh-huh.
It's just the same day to day routine, but like you never get comfortable. Anytime like the guard can come and say like, "Yo, you're like you like pack your stuff. You're moving somewhere else in the jail today, or you're moving to a different jail,
Oh,
or
really?
or like maybe that morning they don't have enough staff, so like you guys don't get it yourself for the day. Like you're just gonna stay, but like it might suck because you maybe scheduled a phone call with your loved ones at home or something like that, right? So like they just come by, they don't give you no warning on it. They just come by like, hey, you guys are locked up for the day. You guys aren't getting out. So it's like, well, like, and then like
Oh,
your mind starts racing like shit. Like you didn't call home today, so now your loved ones are like, oh, why didn't they call home today? And then it's like,
yeah, they think something's wrong.
yeah, you can never, like I said, you get used to it obviously because you have to because you're there, but can't get comfortable about it. No.
If you were a cigarette smoker, I don't know if you are or were, could you smoke cigarettes there?
I don't smoke cigarettes, but
No, but
yeah,
like if you were, could you
I
smoke
know,
in your
but
cell?
like yes and no.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So like yeah, you're not allowed to obviously, right? That's like,
Uh-huh.
it's like yeah, it's not allowed, but like there's ways to get it inside in there in the jail, and there are people that do smoke it. There's if like and this is all kind of like for cigarettes and all kind of drugs too, like
Uh-huh.
cannabis or bad drugs or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's ways to get it in there. So yeah, people do smoke in there. Usually you got to have a lot of money, obviously, to get your hands on that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have a lot of money though, they do a thing. Man, I'm just giving out jail secrets. On
Yeah,
this,
this is great.
they do a thing. I've never done this. I would never do this in my life. But
Sure.
and as I guess because I don't smoke tobacco anyway, it doesn't really
Yeah.
take to me. But if they call it banaco, and they scrape out like the inside guts of a banana,
Okay.
and then you dry it out, and then you smoke that. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know.
Oh, really? Did you
Yeah,
ever
they call
try it?
No, I would never, ever.
Never
ever,
tried
ever
it?
Yeah, it's called banaco, and yeah, if anybody I don't know, try it at home and let me know what you think.
Yeah, yeah. And you can pick them up probably at CVS and Walgreens. Did you ever go to sleep at night, scared to go to sleep?
No,
Like, while you were
If
there,
you're,
like,
no, if you're usually if you're in a cell with somebody, you're good with that person. Obviously, right? If you're sleeping next to them.
yeah. Did you get to
There are
sleep
nights.
in ever? Go on.
Oh, up here, it's I don't know, maybe it's different down there, but up here, like you do whatever you want. Like if I want to sleep all day in my cell, I can sleep all day in my cell. If I want to go out,
Really?
if I want to go out on the range, there's only the range is like the common area for everybody, right?
Okay.
There's only certain times that you're allowed out on the range, but like throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and if you're good, like so with me, I'm a non-violent person, like in jail and in my crimes, right? It's
Yeah.
nonviolent stuff. So
Uh-huh.
a lot of times I'll get put in like the easier part, which is it's like a dorm, so it's not even like really cells. It's just like a big
Oh.
room with like
Uh-huh.
12 people. You're more lax because I said you're not in a cell; you're just in a big room. And but those are usually for like non-violent offenders and people who like stay out of trouble while they're inside of there too. So yeah, I don't like usually fight. Like there is times that you have to, but like I don't really do that.
Was there someone that you can like you look and you knew he was the scariest dude there,
Oh,
like just
definitely.
by appearance?
Yeah, but there's some maybe not by appearance, but like like I said, there's a lot of people that are in and out of there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and that's like no like sometimes it is fault to them, but a lot of times it's just fault to like the system and fault
Yeah.
to that person drug use or whatever, right? Mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these people don't have anybody like to when they get released. Say you just a year away from, like say you went away from society for 1 year, just
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically, and then someone came and plopped you like right back in the middle of downtown Chicago or downtown Toronto, you'd be lost. Like if you didn't know anybody in that town or city or whatever, you'd be lost, right? You wouldn't know what to do. You have no money, you have no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You were just out of it for 1 year, and now now you're back in the world now, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know anybody, then you have if you don't know anybody, you have no money and you have nowhere to live and no food. The first thing you're gonna have to do is commit a crime to get money or something, right? There's
Yeah, yeah.
so much free help to go around. So if you go to the shelter and there's no beds that night, and now there's no food for you to eat there, you have to do something to live that night, and
Oh
and then
God.
that leads one thing into another. Uh, so yeah, that like I don't know, sure.
Did you have like I know I was only put away for 2 weeks, not in prison, hospital, but just 2 weeks. I had a hard time coming back into like normal life. Did you have a hard time like reacclimating, like realizing, okay, I'm out?
Yeah, it's always definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So like even now, like when I go to like if I go to like a big like a mall or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like really be there. There's just too many people around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will say like a lot of habits wise, a lot of habits have changed. Like before, I'd always want to be out, like I said, in public or like out,
Yeah.
maybe not so much nightclubs, but like like doing something that night or whatever. Now, like I'm cool with like just chilling and watching TV or whatever. I will say another thing that this is gonna be really weird too, but like jail really showed me my love of wrestling for the most part.
Oh.
Which is odd because like I didn't realize like before I was just like, oh, I'm gonna watch wrestling and it's there, right? But then
Yeah. Yeah.
when you can't watch wrestling or like not even just wrestling, everything, right? But for me personally, I like wrestling, so
Mm-hmm.
can't watch it. It's just like shit, or like I can't turn on YouTube and watch Wrestling Observer or whatever, right? When
Yeah.
when your daily consumption is a lot of wrestling stuff, whether that be news or the shows or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
you go there and you don't have the choice of that. It's just like, damn, like I really miss wrestling. But then like eventually, like if you become on the range long enough, you get to
Uh-huh.
start picking what's on TV or stuff like that. So like if I'm on the range long enough, then like we're watching wrestling, you know. So like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
especially like after like a couple months when I get to start like running the remote, then it's like Monday nights are wrestling. Sometimes most times it'd be like on a week. As fairness, obviously I'm not like the most toughest either. So if someone was
Uh-huh.
I'd say, yeah, it's all you, dude. But or I just tell somebody go fight them for me. But what like usually what I would do is I would say like Monday or Friday I'm watching one show live, so like prime time, because a lot of people want to watch movies or whatever, and then I say
Okay.
like, another show I'll watch on replay. So like say if I watch Friday live, I put a lot of people through the hatred of watching wrestling live, but on Mondays I watch it like when everybody else is sleeping, kind of thing, right? So like
Oh.
like I remember the guy I said was in a dorm, so it was like a big room of people.
Uh-huh.
So there's actually was I don't think I ever told him about this. There was this old man. His name was Daryl, and
Okay.
every Monday night, like this was the routine. At midnight, he would wake me up to watch the replay of Raw because he wanted to watch it too. So every Monday night, he would wake me up at what I would do is like I'm not good for staying up late, right? So I'd go to bed around like 9. And say, "Oh, wake me up at midnight." So he wake me up at midnight every Monday, and we watch Raw together at like the old man and me. But
Oh, that's funny.
then SmackDown we'd watch live. Eventually, if they do like a Legends night or like there's a big Divas match or something like that, the guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
like if you say like, oh, Stone Cold's gonna be on there, even though like I know it's only gonna be like a 30-second segment or whatever, like
Uh-huh.
like these guys are like, oh, Stone Cold, you know, and they'll watch it, right? And what's
Oh,
weird is
that's
they
cool.
don't want to watch it, but like they love talking about it. Like they're like start talking, like if you start talking wrestling, they'll go, oh yeah, I remember this or remember that or remember this. So like they talk about it, but they don't want to watch it because it's too cool for it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but it's good. Like you could talk to some people about it. Something, something in common.
Here and there.
Did
no.
did they have good any like good like were you able to check like internet every day if you wanted or
So I do know that down in the States, you guys have like iPads in there in some of your jails and stuff.
oh
like that,
really?
which I seen on my mom watches 60 Days In. So I seen that.
Okay.
We don't have that here. So all we have here is like in the jails here, our TV and payphone. Like not well, like a phone. It looks like a payphone, but it's not really a payphone. But
Uh-huh.
a phone to call like home and stuff like that.
Okay.
There was
Can
one.
you call as many times as you want?
Yeah, it costs money though, but yeah, you can call
Mhm.
if your family's like rich or whatever, you can call all the day. There's some people that like literally just sit there on the phone all day, right? But
Oh, wow.
usually I would call like once or twice a day home. Usually once
Mhm.
a day to just make sure everything's good and whatever's happening and
Was
check.
your mom devastated?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But like she was one of the people that were like there whenever I needed, like if I needed a call, if I needed something done, like call her to get something done, if I needed a visit or money in my
Mhm.
account, my canteen or whatever that. She was definitely one of the more like I don't even want to say one of the more like one of the more like the most reliable person for that. So
Oh,
and
wow.
most of my family anyway, like my immediate family, my sisters, my mom, they were
Uh-huh.
all there for that. So if I ever needed something, I could just call them and a couple friends, of course, too, right? But yeah, definitely, she was definitely devastated, especially because I'm gone for so long, right? So
Did you feel guilty about that?
yeah,
Like
for sure.
that part?
No, for sure. I feel
You
guilty.
know, you never want to hurt your mom.
No, you. I feel guilty about the whole thing, right? But like, you're young
Mhm.
and dumb, and you make dumb decisions. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I wouldn't have the and I mean, make dumb decisions. As in doing the actual crime, but also in the ramifications that I had on my mom and my family, and
Hmm.
to the family to this day as well, right? But with that said, I don't regret it because I wouldn't have the outlook on life that I have, and secondary, if I'm being I like this is gonna sound stupid arrogant, but like I also wouldn't have had most of the experiences I had in life without the money that I had from what I did, right? Which also gave me a perspective on life that I wouldn't have, you know. So like to be sitting like courtside at Raptors games with like famous people, and then to maybe it wasn't necessarily like this, but then the next day you're in a jail cell with like fentanyl addicts and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh,
like two
God.
extremes, you know what I mean? So it's definitely like a yo-yo, I guess, in that aspect.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it seems like you've come out of it in pretty good shape. Or at least, like, you come off that way, at the very least.
Like every I don't know, every day's a struggle with it, right? But
Let
hopefully
me
that
ask you a question.
past.
Did you ever, like, when you got out, like, feel guilty that other guys didn't get out too? Like, that you were leaving, but, like, people you were friendly with there couldn't?
I don't know. Like if like you kind of like obviously like it's like when someone else is getting out for that day, you're like shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
fuck, I wish that was me, right? But at the same time, you're like sick. Like that's someone else getting out. You know what I mean? That's another one that's not you.
Uh-huh.
However, there is some people like they get out and you're like, oh, I'll see you in a week or whatever, and then they're back in a week. Like you just know they're gonna be back in a week or two. You know. So
Oh,
like
wow.
most people get out. It's like shit. I will say, and it's like obviously I don't know personal opinion, but like when someone like that touches a kid or something gets out, and you're sitting there for
Yeah.
me, like again, what I'm not saying what I did was right, 100% it was wrong. What I've done, I committed fraud, and I like,
Yeah.
and I deserve to do time for that,
Yeah.
right?
You got punished. And
With that said, though, there's people that deserve like to be doing a lot more time than I am for what they have done, and when they're not, it's just like frustrating as well. It's like I'm still
yeah, yeah.
I did this to this and whatever, right? But yeah, you don't like when I'm getting out, like I don't feel guilty because like again, everybody, if you're there, you it's either if you're there, you accept the fact that like what you did got you there, or
Mm-hmm.
if you don't accept that fact, then you're just like a piece of shit, pretty much, right? You should like if you like I shouldn't say everybody because there are some people that are there that are wrongfully accused or whatever, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
majority of people, like if you're there, you should accept that you made a mistake or you've done a wrong thing, whether it be circumstances or this bad decision making or the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
You still need to wake up and be like, yo, like I did something wrong. Like, okay, this is why I'm here. So how can I take the next step on not either redoing that
Doing this.
or coming back here again type of thing, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, if you don't accept that, then that's what's just gonna keep landing you back.
You're gonna come back.
Going.
What was the first thing you did when you got out?
I don't know. Well, yeah, go see my family definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually the family, and then like some good food, and then a female friend, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta find a lady to complete that package. Were you able to sleep? Were you able to sleep the first night you got out?
No, so like when you first get out, like it's This is another thing. Like this, they don't talk about this stuff in the TV show. So like
Yeah.
first week when you get home, like I couldn't sleep in a bed. It's too big. like the bed was too big, so I had to sleep on the couch for like the first week or so.
Oh wow.
Just because like the bed, like when I slept in the bed, it was too big for me. Like I could move around and like roll over and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but if I slept on the couch, there's not much moving around. Like it's just
Uh-huh. Yeah, single mattress.
yeah. And then like I remember like probably like maybe like that week, the following weekend when I got out, I probably went out with my friends or whatever for the first time, and truth be told, I probably got drunk or whatever. So I probably just came home and just slept in my bed, and that's what got me into my bed routine again. But like, yeah, when you first get out, you like, and I know I've heard stories, and I've never went to this extreme, but I've heard stories of people like they'll move their bed to like the closet and shit at their home and stuff, and
Really?
or like or their bathroom and stuff. I've heard of that, but I never done it myself, right? But yeah, for me, it was like I definitely like felt very uncomfortable on my bed the first
Oh my
week.
God.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing all that with us. That's a very interesting story, and I'm glad that chapter is over with for you. You don't have to deal with it.
We got a new chapter. It's called PWJ.
New chapter, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's someone told me in the hospital that like, yeah, all this shit that you had in your life, if you're happy now, it makes all that stuff worth it. If you can look and say, I'm really happy in my life right now, then all the stuff that came was worth it, I suppose. I don't 100% buy into that, but that's what I was told several times.
I won't be happy until PWJ has 1 million people in it.
Yeah, seriously. God, some of these kid shows online that my kids watch, they have like 4 million. These things make my ears bleed. And these guys have like 4 or 5 million, subscribers. So I don't. If that's the case, we should be fine. But whatever, one small thing at a time. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions about 2020. You okay for that?
Go for it.
Okay. What's the best thing that happened to you? I know that's a big question.
I would say like PWJ, I guess, because like even though I've said this to a few people actually, even though like 2020 was in society's standpoint was pretty bad, I met the most friends. Like
yeah, totally.
So many people. Even though I haven't met a lot, obviously I never met a lot of you guys in person, but
yeah.
Met even a few people in person from the group too, right? So obviously I know Johnny pulled up beforehand.
Yeah.
Remember in the group Ryan? I met Ryan. Mm-hmm. Actually, I met him before, but like I met him through the group. And someone who I met totally through the group, who I just recently met in person, was Shayna.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I met her in the group, and then we just hung out the one day. So yeah, it's like even though and from that standpoint, like I'll have like once the borders open and wrestling shows are back on, I'm sure like I'll just everybody else, right? So
yeah, I envision like a big meetup somewhere that we all end up there.
Actually, I'll say this too. I guess I don't know. It's nothing in like written yet, but obviously when like in-person stuff happens, there's plans for a lot of like pro PWJ events, whether it be an indie show during Mania weekend or an Uno tournament, a poker tournament with wrestlers, a video game tournament, something. We'll be doing a lot of. We'll be taking the community from online to in real life.
Oh my God, that's gonna be crazy.
When we're allowed to.
All right. In 2020, did you covet anyone else's wife?
Did I what?
Covet anybody else's wife?
I mean, like
a friend's wife, and you think to yourself, man, I wish she'd be with me.
Like bang her or just wish about it?
Just wish about it. No, not actually following through with it.
Oh, someone else, like the celebrities count or no?
It's a on the tablets that Moses brought down. Yeah, it says you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. And I just wanted to make sure you haven't been coveting your neighbor's wife.
Not anybody I know in person. Maybe like a celebrity's wife or something.
Got it. Okay, that's fine.
Like whoever that dude that's gonna marry Alexa Bliss, he's pretty lucky,
Oh yes. All right. What was the angriest you were in 2020?
The angriest? I don't know. I don't get angry too much. I get angry.
All right. We'll come back.
Here, I'll get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I won't. Actually, I don't know.
I don't.
Really angry. I was more just angry and
put off, aggravated, annoyed.
Aggravated is 2 different things. But angry, I would say maybe I don't know, bro. I don't get angry.
Whatever.
If someone
makes
me mad, I'd say screw you.
What was the best food you ate?
I don't know.
Okay.
I like Mandarin food. Yo, actually, you know what? Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I got these chips the other day.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Who? Well, I already said I got them from Shayna. Shayna brought them back from Japan. And,
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, the rating.
Yeah. And,
what are they?
They're chips, dude. But like they're like a kettle chip that's like sweet.
Oh, it's not like a grasshopper, right?
I hope not. It says potato chips, premium potato chips. I hope it's not I hope it's not grasshopper.
I have seen a lot of street food in China.
I'm eating bro, it's not from China. It's from Japan.
Japan. I corrected myself.
Jeez Louise. You're gonna screw it up. But yeah.
All right. So you're gonna say that this is the best thing you've eaten all year? You're gonna nominate that?
Brad, as someone that you know me in the admin chat, you know I only eat a few things. It's consistent. My diet consists of
yeah.
Uber Eats purchase is whatever is the fast food, which ends up being and chicken wings. So,
all right, best movie you've seen this year?
I love to go to movies, but with the movies being closed,
no. Did you see one? On, like
yes. I know. I'm gonna say. I said I love going just to the movies, but just as in general, a very. I don't know if it was the best movie I watched, but one of the movies that when you just say that and it sticks out to me, wrestling related as well, would be the Bipolar Rock and Roller, which is documentary on Mauro Ranallo.
Oh, really?
Former NXT commentator, obviously does a lot of boxing and Showtime. He has a documentary that came out. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it did come out this year, but it came out in 2019, and I didn't watch it till this year. You can find it on YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah,
does he have bipolar disorder?
Yeah. He's very to a high degree. He has very.
Oh, he speaks out about it.
Yeah, he has very severe bipolar, which you can see in the show in the movie. But yeah, very interesting documentary. Someone who is who experiences and B is an advocate for mental health and stuff like that. So it's nice to see somebody else, his caliber, open it up. And it's interesting to see like how somebody that has such a severe bipolar issue is. I don't even want to say issue. Issue is probably the wrong word, but is how he copes with it, like during big moments in his life. Right. So. If you haven't seen it already, I would suggest go see. I know it's on HBO Max or stuff like that, and as well
I got to check that out.
On YouTube or something like that. But Bipolar Rock and Roller, Mauro Ranallo's story.
Because I have bipolar disorder too. And that's why I'm shocked. I never even heard of this before. So I'll definitely go look for that.
And I actually heard it from like my doctor. My doctor's like, "Hey, I know you're a wrestling fan. Have you seen this yet?"
Yeah.
And I didn't hear about that, and then I ended up. Going home
I gotta go check that out.
YouTube and very good documentary. So I would suggest anybody go look at it, and especially if you're someone who is dealing with mental health issues, you can do it and check it out.
That's always good to see someone else, having it too. Best hooker you've had this year? Okay, best purchase you've made this year?
Best purchase I made this year, Kenny Omega coming to PWJ.
All right, and finally, the worst purchase you've made this year?
I don't know. Probably I bought a lot. Something that's happened this year and with the COVID stuff is a lot of the toy vendors and wrestling vendors have took their stuff online, online virtual signings and auctions. So I bought a lot of memorabilia of wrestling this year. So one of those purchases, I would say.
If there wasn't this pandemic, do you think you would have bought as much stuff this year?
Oh, definitely not. Like Mr. Poda and I talk about this often too. Like the people, like there's a lot of items that we probably wouldn't even know about. Like if it wasn't for the online virtual stuff, right? Because like a lot of the people that we're meeting, like we didn't meet till this year, and a lot of people that I get a lot of my stuff from, I didn't know them before this year. So, but yeah, so like some of these vendors are New York based or Florida based. Someone who lives in Canada, like we would have never met these people if it wasn't for these online communities that they have been forced to make due to COVID-19 and no toy shows and stuff like that, right? So I wouldn't have probably like I'm trying to take everything outside of High Spots purchases out because High Spots is online, right? So you can get stuff from there all the time. I'd probably like good 50-60% of my collection probably wouldn't be bought right now if it wasn't for if it wasn't for the online stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not going to keep you much longer, but do you where was the last show you went to before we could congregate?
The last show I went to I think was in December.
Okay.
in Toronto. It was a house show for WWE SmackDown.
Oh.
And then, because they come around the holiday time every year. And then, actually, me and Poda were supposed to go to a house show on March 18th. I don't know why I remember that reason, but March 18th, we were supposed to go to a house show. That Friday night, they did the live show. It was supposed to be in Detroit, the SmackDown show, but it didn't end up going to Detroit. It was still in Florida. However, the Toronto house show wasn't canceled yet. And then waking up Saturday morning, the day of the show, they said it was canceled and stuff like that. And that, like, everything started shutting down and all that craziness.
Yeah, and then it just dominoed. Okay, what was the who's your favorite wrestler of all time? I think I know the answer. And who's your favorite wrestler currently? And now, as I'm saying the words coming out of my mouth, I think I know the answer to that as well. But I'll let you say it. I'll let it come out of your mouth.
Yeah. So imagine I swerved here and said like someone else. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously Chris Jericho is a GOAT, dude. Goat all around. Currently active.
See, I wore this specifically because I knew that was going to be your answer.
You can't see her now, but I got a retro Jericho shirt on.
Oh, nice.
And then on the back it has them doing the Y2J thing. But,
how old is that shirt?
Oh, I don't know, probably 02 or 01.
Wow. Maybe almost 20 years.
Somewhere in there.
And is there anyone else that you used to like as well?
Well, Kenny's up there, obviously. Omega, a fellow Canadian. But besides for those two, if you're going back, man, someone who's I think is very underrated is, I shouldn't say underrated, but who doesn't get a good aspect of his storytelling is Brock Lesnar. Brock doesn't get, he's a great storyteller in the ring, man. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves for that. And then if you're going if you're going back in like the 90s and early 2000s, The Rock, obviously, for me as a kid growing up, getting into like the teenage years, like it was The Rock, right? So like that. And before then, I would say like, well, Sting was cool. I like Surfer Sting though. Surfer Sting was cool.
Yeah, me too.
Ultimate Warrior was probably like, as a kid, Ultimate Warrior was probably my guy right there for anything else.
What is the best show you've ever been to?
That's a tough one, man. I have to say, damn. So I got to see Rock and Hogan in person, which like as an overall show wasn't
at WrestleMania or the one they did like 6 months later.
The one in Toronto.
Okay. Oh, did you go?
Yeah. So that show was phenomenal.
Was Hulk Hogan very popular, like in Toronto, for example?
Like he's popular everywhere.
Well, and what I'm getting at is he in Canada? Who's held in higher regard, Bret Hart or like Hulk Hogan? Oh, or like The Rock and Bret Hart?
Oh, out of those guys, it's Bret.
Yeah.
It's like just from a history standpoint, Bret. Like not even just Bret though. Like the Hart family in general. Yeah. The Hart family is like again. Oh, Mr. Johnny's gonna say, "Oh, Bret Hart," but no, it's like, and I think he'll agree with this. It's like the Hart family as a whole is like a Canadian, like it's kind of like the Gretzky family. Like you got the Gretzky family, you got the Hart's families, and then you got like Trudeau's. Like so I don't know. Yeah. The Hart family is held in like high regard. Stu, Owen, Bret, the whole family.
But not specifically like Bret Hart.
Yeah, obviously Bret's like the main name, obviously
most
the family,
famous,
right?
Yeah,
most famous. But I would say like. The family in general, what holds high regard in this country, definitely.
Okay. I'm going to let you go in a second. Would you answer 3 would you rather questions before I let you go?
Yeah, I'll answer anything.
Okay. Would you rather never be able to drive again or never be able to see a match or talk about Chris Jericho ever again?
That's it. I would never drive again. That's easy one.
Okay. Would you rather have $400,000 and you have to go to bed every night at 6 p.m. or never have the ability to get messed up again?
I'll take the money because that's
okay. And going to bed that early, you're fine with?
Yeah, I usually in bed pretty early anyway.
All right. Would you rather watch a woman give birth or a cow give birth?
I don't know. Who's the woman? My wife?
Have you ever seen a human come out? human, a baby come out of a woman. It's disgusting.
Not in person.
And I didn't think when we had our first kid, I didn't think that I was going to be able to see anything. I was going to just stand by my wife's head, but they had me come around. It's not as much that the visual was so disgusting. It was more of the sounds, like when the placenta came out. I still have nightmares about that sound. Okay, so you're saying you wanted to watch a cow give birth?
Well, I guess unless it's my wife and it's my kid or something.
Okay. It changed my relationship with her forever after I saw that. All right. Anything that you can hint at without giving anything away for 2021 as far as Pro Wrestling Junkies?
No, I'm just kidding. No, we got some things in the works. We got some more AEW talent in the works for meet and greets.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Pro Wrestling Tea store, which is going to drop. You probably most of you guys probably already know about it before this drops. So Pro Wrestling Tea / Pro Wrestling Junkies, that's new. Who knows what 2021 holds for live events as well, right? So if again, I'm not no doctor or anything like that, but I think live events are off the table for Mania weekend. It looks like anyway. But,
yeah, it's got to be at this point.
Maybe SummerSlam. We'll see what happens. I think
that'd be great.
If live events are happening, there's gonna be a PWJ presence there. So.
Oh my God, I can't wait! I'll go anywhere at that
capacity.
Point.
We don't know, but yeah, if there's a bigger wrestling show happening somewhere in North America and other indie shows are happening, you best believe, I don't know if it's going to be an indie show, but you best believe something will be there for PWJ.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I know you have a very busy schedule with this Pro Wrestling Junkies, but thank you so much for taking time coming on this New Year's episode.